Hello, lovely beings. Today we have episode 2 of the Human Light Bulbs podcast. And I'm MissHellbreaker, or also Janneke Hellebrekers, and I'm very active on social media. I'm a yoga meditation teacher, energy healer, and I just spread seeds of awakening. And that is really happening. The great awakening is happening. And I have really talks with people that I feel that are really human light bulbs. And I'm very happy and grateful to introduce you to Jen McCarty. And she's like inspiring me already for years on Facebook and in groups and on ceremonies. And I'm really grateful to introduce you today.
Hello, everybody. It's lovely to be here. I'm really looking forward to this podcast.
Yay. And maybe you can talk a bit what are the things that you do and offer and where people know you from.
Sure. Well, I've written 9 books now.
Wow.
2 books about Twinflames, 3 books about manifestation, 2 workbooks, and 1 book about how to look after the altar. So that's my 9 books. I'm recording my album. I've recorded my album called Love Songs to God, and I'm going to be releasing my first track called Roses on the Magdalene Feast Day. So maybe you could ask some questions so people could get to know me, and then I could tell them about what I'm offering.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even more. Yeah, that's really cool. And then maybe you can tell a bit about your awakening journey.
Yeah, would you like me to share with you about my awakening journey?
Yes, please.
Okay, so I had a spiritual awakening when I was 21 years of age in 1995, and I was in India for the first time, and I was traveling up a very high mountain, and I met this woman, and she really begged me to chant the mantra Om Namah Shivaya. And so I chanted the mantra many times, and then we got to the top of the mountain, and I wanted to separate from the group and be on my own. And I walked to the edge of the mountain, and I looked up, and I saw this flash of white light, and I knew that I was meeting God consciousness. And I was very much not into the word God, because I'd come from a Catholic upbringing and stuff like that. But I knew that it was like my third eye got flashed open. And suddenly I could see God's fingerprint and handprint in absolutely all aspects of creation. And I understood the oneness of creation. I understood that every single, nothing separate, everything is just one big tapestry of union and unity. And I went into a very high state of spiritual bliss. And I stayed in that state for about 6 months. And then I came back to England. And then I sort of the spaceship landed when I got back to England. And then I actually spent many years doing very deep shadow work. So I didn't really go public with my gifts for about 20 years so I really went deep into my healing and my shadow integration and my spiritual mastery. And I didn't really want to particularly go public with my gifts, because I didn't want anyone to think that I was anything special, when I know how special everyone is. And that created a lot of resistance for me, with not wanting to sort of be known as that. But then I connected with my twin flame, and I realized that in order for him to find me, I actually did have to go public with my spiritual gifts. So thanks to my twin flame, I put myself out there, and I started writing my blog, and my teachings just really resonated with a sort of section of society that I would call the very people that are operating from a high vibration, really deeply connected with my writing and my teaching and my work. And so straight away I created a spiritual community around me. And it's just built and grown over the years. And I'm very consistent on social media. I'm always just in service to my brothers and sisters. but I'm very honest and raw as well. Like, I don't just hide behind this sort of like perfect spiritual teacher kind of vibe. I'm just really, really human, and I'm very, very honest and authentic about my struggles and about places where I find, I'm having challenges and stuff like that. But generally, I am very, very consistent with my transmission, with my teaching to my community. And my deepest prayer is that all my brothers and sisters get to experience what I experienced on top of the mountain, because I knew when I had that experience that it wasn't just for me, that all of humanity was meant to know that level of happiness and peace and connection with God consciousness. And so that is what drives me, is just to bring that consciousness to my brothers and sisters.
That's beautiful, because once you feel that, once you know this, you want others to know this as well, eh? Like how divine everything is, and how beautiful everything is, and how everything has to happen exactly how it needs to happen.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting.
And just to be free from suffering, and to understand the egoic consciousness and how it operates, because that's what causes suffering, is when you identify with your ego, and it's like, I just want everyone to know that freedom, it's like total freedom within your consciousness. It's like you can be even locked in prison, but you can still be as free as a bird, and in a way these bodies are a little bit like a prison for our soul. But the thing is, within this sort of limitation of our physical bodies, we get to experience like all of the freedom in the universe, in the multiverse.
And also like people like really knowing and like seeing their own power, what they are capable of. Yeah,
exactly. Yes, that's right.
So yeah, really cool. So and it's also about like freeing people up, and more people understanding what's happening. And there's like the awakening is going on. And how do you, like, even though maybe we don't know exactly what is going to happen, but how do you feel about what the future will hold for humanity?
I think that it's like enlightened consciousness has anchored on the earthly plane, and it's a bit like a wildfire. Like, you can't put it out, you can't put the truth out, so it just takes a little moment for it to spread like all around the world. And I feel that it's spreading now even more quicker. And then then you have people like myself that are spiritual leaders, and it's like, as we evolve and deepen our understanding of the I am presence and who we truly are, and we then anchor those codes of remembrance within our own psychic field, then this then feeds into the entire collective consciousness. So even one person just really truly stabilizing in their I am presence, in enlightened consciousness, like, this is huge for the collective. So it's like a wildfire, you can't put it out. It's spreading, and there's no two ways about it.
Yeah, I get goosebumps when you say it. So it's like, I know that it's happening, and it's like so exciting these times.
It's happening, absolutely, and I think that COVID really helped a lot of people wake up, and it really exposed the agenda of the old controllers, and then that helped people really question the narratives that their authority had shared with them, like their schools and the media and the religion. In COVID time, people began to question in a huge way, and I think that spirituality and awakening came out of the fringes, and it sort of became much more mainstream. So that's where I think we are, where spirituality has gone mainstream.
Yeah, because you're still talking about like books about twin flames and manifesting. I think 10 years ago, no one would have known what that was. And now everybody knows it.
Yeah, everyone knows. Yeah, it's an amazing time to be alive.
Yes, definitely. So that's really cool. And you said you had like, you were having a really cool thing coming up, like a retreat.
Yeah, I'm going to be going back to Bali in December for the 12/12 portal, and I'm going to be hosting a very, very beautiful retreat in Bali. And a lot of the retreat is going to be focused on sexual healing and really, really like maintaining high levels of sexual hygiene. And we're going to be speaking a lot about the Avalon codes and the Hieros Gamos codes, and which is connected to the wild man and the wild rose teachings. So I'm going to be teaching about the wild rose path. It's going to be an amazing, really, really amazing retreat in Bali. There's going to be 22 places, 10 non-residential and 12 residential places. And yeah, it's going to be amazing to bring these powerful sort of Celtic teachings over to the island of the gods, which is in Bali. So if anyone's interested, you can email me at cosmicgypsy33@gmail.com, and hopefully Hanneke can put my email address in the description of this video. And then if you want to go on the pre-book list, then you can, and there's going to be special offers for everyone on the pre-book list. So really, really excited about that.
Wow. And you had already lots of people interested in that as well.
Oh yeah, loads.
That's really cool. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
It's going really, really, really well. Yeah.
And also she has on her Facebook also like you always do like on portal days, you do always the ceremonies as well, and they're also very, very powerful. I did now several ones, and I also did one in the beginning of the Corona time.
Oh,
you did also one, and that was also really, really, really powerful. That was like with I think we're like 400 people or something.
Yeah.
That one is like
a lot of people. Yeah.
And really like the importance of coming together on these days for people. Maybe you can also say something about that.
Sure. It's well, it's like that we have, you know, there has been like a spiritual war on humanity, and how the old controllers have won is by keeping everyone separate and in their own kind of like separate sort of bubbles. But our consciousness as the I am presence is so strong, and it's so powerful that when we converge with other awakened souls, this exponentially intensifies the ripple of the transmission. And so we must come together on portal dates in order to anchor these collective timelines for the collective, you see, and timelines of healing, timelines of abundance, timelines of the releasing of trauma, timelines of union. And it's like it's like we're all here to anchor those collective experiences individually and collectively. And that's why it's very, very important, because when we come together, everything is sped up, you know, it becomes much more faster. Like, yeah, one person can do it, but much, much quicker if we all come together and work with the portal energies, like the numerological portal energies, as they kind of like present. But so my next transmission ceremony is going to be for the day out of time, which is the 26th of July, which is the day that the Mayan calendar ends each year. It ends on the 26th of July, and then on the 27th of July it's the beginning of the year of the cycle of the Mayan calendar. So it ends on the 25th and it starts on the 27th, and the 26th day is seen as the day out of time, where it's all time and no time, which is really all days are like that really, but the Mayan calendars, they're teaching us about the truth about time. So this is a very, very powerful spiritual day for us to come together, and we're going to be dismantling the agenda to confuse children around their gender identity. And yeah, we're going to be doing really, really huge work with shifting that attack, because this is an attack on children, and like ignorant, stupid parents are kind of going along with it, and teachers and stuff like that, and they don't realize that it's an agenda to corrupt God's blueprint, which is masculine and feminine, with the odd hermaphrodite. That there is the odd hermaphrodite, like, you know, intersex being, but 99.9999999% of humanity are male or female. That's it. and but there's an agenda to like in my my niece's class, she's like 14, 10 of the children are trans, like that.
Wow.
Yeah, like we never had, this is all across the board now.
Mm.
Like we never had that when I was growing up, you know. My son, even my son's generation never had that. But so yeah, no, we need to do this. There's a war on children taking place, and we need to end it.
And that's like especially in certain countries, like Europe and Europe and America and Canada. That's the most,
and Australia.
Countries. Yeah, Australia also. Yeah, those countries are more attacked. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the English speaking countries, I think, have been the most attacked.
Yeah, so that's why it's like, but on so many levels, what is going on? What is also going on with this? It's like really crazy. Like, but in Holland, like recently there was like a Miss Universe. It was also transgender.
Yes.
It's like this. It's like really like, it's like, of course people can like what you said, the odd one can happen, but this is just such an attack on them. And it's just like, because when they have those medicines, they get like, they change their whole operations. They have medicines they have to take their whole life. They get like, with those medicines, they also get depression and suicidal thoughts because they've like the symptoms of those medicines. And that is so really like, and also infertility a lot of times. So it's like, but that's also with the other agenda. It's also about infertility. And that's like, we really need to spread the information about what is like the attack, what you said, the attack on humanity on so many levels, and more people seeing what is actually happening. So what is like, really what is going on. But it's like, you were your whole life in a trance, like we're all brainwashed, we're all programmed, and suddenly like you're like you wake up from it. It's like really like for most people like really interesting happenings, such a spiritual awakening.
You just don't believe that the people that you gave authority to are going to want to hurt you and lie to you. You just cannot comprehend that as a child. You just think adults want what's best for you. Adults want to see you thrive. Adults want to see you grow. But we don't realize that all those adults, they've all been programmed and conditioned. And it's a huge awakening. And it's like the trans agenda, it's like a very, very, very base, low frequency. But then the work that we're going to do in the transmissions is we're going to be meeting that low frequency with a much, much, much higher frequency of resolution. And so how it works is just by implementing a new frequency, the old frequency it just vanishes and it just disappears. So you don't fight it. We're not fighting this agenda. What we're doing is we are bringing in a new state of consciousness around, which is specifically targeting that agenda from a vibrational, energetic perspective, which causes it to dismantle and just disappear and vanish, like, you know. So that's what we do in the transmissions. It's very, very powerful work.
Yeah, but also energetic work is anyway very powerful, and a lot of people are not aware of it, what it can do, like energetic healings, energetic work, changing things on the energetic level, and from that level things like go in on the physical level.
Well, that's the only way that they can go in on the physical level, because the imagination is the I am presence. That is what the I am presence is. It's the I am imagination. I am imagination. So the imagination, this is what the entire Bible is teaching us. Every single line in the Bible is teaching us about the I am presence. Like, for example, when in the gospel, when they talk about Jesus went to the wedding in Canaan and they needed some bread and loaves, and he had one fish, and then he made loads and loads more fishes. This is teaching us about our consciousness. Like the I am presence is the soil but you have to have it. You have to have one fish if you're going to make many fishes, because you have to start in a state of abundance, and then the universe will give you more abundance. You can't start with planting nothing. So this is what the teachings is. So if you have one glass of wine, that glass of wine in the imagination is like a seed, and the seed is to create more wine. And so that's why the abundance is coming. So all of the teachings in the Bible are teaching us about the I am presence. They're teaching us about the imagination, because the imagination is the perfect father. Like in the Bible, it's always talking about the father this, the father that. The father is talking about the imagination. And I and my father are one means that, you know, you have your sort of like your identity as man, as woman, and then you have your perfect father. And so the man, woman that you are has to become one with the perfect father, which means that the I am presence needs to understand the power that we hold within our imagination to create everything from this world. Like you can literally create anything. There's nothing. If you want something, there's a reason why you want something, and that is because there's a string that connects your desire to your heart, and it's the string goes into the quantum ocean. And then if it didn't exist, you wouldn't want it. And the fact that you want it means that 100% for sure it exists within the quantum ocean. And then you claim it, you stamp it, you say, I am that I am, that is mine, and then you start saying thank you, you start preparing your life for it coming. And this is what the teachings of the Bible is all about. They're teaching you about your I am presence. You know, they're teaching you about the power of your imagination to turn a tiny little seed into a massive oak tree. This is the imagination. The seed is the thought, and from any thought that we put in, that is what's going to grow. But many people are lost in the vibration of lack. Or, I don't have this, I don't have that, and then they plant that seed of lack in their imagination, and then the genie inside of them is like, oh, more lack. So it's like you have to start with something. Like Jesus is teaching us, you have to have one fish at least. Jesus didn't go there saying, I don't have any fish, guys, what am I going to do? He's like, no, I have one fish, and that is the start. I have one fish, and this is the seed that I'm planting into my imagination. The fact that I have that, and then the imagination is going to give hundreds and thousands of fishes or hundreds of thousands of glasses of wine. But you have to plant the seed with abundance. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you can't plant a seed of lack. If you plant a seed of lack, that's all you're going to experience.
Yeah, and it's also about like feeling that gratitude for what you already have, and
yes.
then the knowing that it's coming.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's what faith is. Faith is knowing.
Yeah, and I feel before we needed to see it to believe it, then we believe it, and we saw things, and now it's like we're more and more in the age of knowing. You're like your intuition, you just know certain things.
Yeah. And someone asked me a question the other day, and they were like, I can't remember what it was, but something along the lines of, how do you know? Oh God, I can't remember it, but you're right. The age of knowing, it's very, very important. And if you're wondering about, oh, where is this thing that I ordered, then it means that you're not really fully in faith, because when you are 100% in knowing and faith, there's just trust. Just trust. If you're questioning, if you're like, oh, you know, is it coming? Why isn't it here yet? That just shows that your faith muscle is weak, and you need to make your faith muscle strong.
Yeah, you can always, like, there's like, universe also shows me like you can have even more trust and more trust and more trust, and it is like there's a really interesting journey to have like that full trust and full faith. And but it's coming. Like the more you get like confirmations of that, the more you're like, I can even trust more, and let life really carry you. And it's like, and a lot of people in that, what you said, have that lack consciousness, or like don't believe it, or like, and it's like really starts with going within, like, and having that faith.
Absolutely. Faith is the substance in the universe that builds your dreams from the spiritual realms into the physical realms. If you don't have faith, there's no building happening. Faith is like the cement. It's like cement it's like spiritual cement that helps you build your dream in this world. Without it, you can't create anything.
That's indeed so important, so important. So it's really like you already gave a lot of different, like quite some golden nuggets of wisdom. So it's really nice for people to really like, find their way. And also you wrote books, you said about like Twinflames and manifestation. So if people can want to know more about that, they can also read that.
Show you my book. I'll get it. I'll get my cheap book.
Cool.
With my books.
And she wrote 9 books already, so that's really really beautiful. And so I will share all the links underneath all this video. So I'll share the link tree and your email. Yes, really beautiful.
Have you read it?
No, I didn't read it, but I read all your things on Facebook. So all your
read it. Oh my God,
no.
you read it. Why did you read it?
I don't know. There's like so many things to read, but it's like maybe one day. But I read all your a lot of your writings on Facebook. But and that is so also very
Journey
cool.
to Union. This is my second flame book. This is my book, Manifestation Mastery.
Oh, that sounds also really cool.
Yeah, and this is one of my most powerful books, Divine Actor I Am, which
really
is
cool.
talking about how to connect with your future self in the quantum field and speak your dreams into reality.
Yes, that's really cool. So if you want to do that more, and who knows when I'm gonna get some of your books, but it's really really cool what you're doing and what you're putting into this world, and so many seeds, and your retreats and your Facebook and your books. People can really learn more about how you see the reality and how you have that view on it, and that is really beautiful. And we're gonna more and more awaken, more and more like understanding this reality on a deeper level. More and more people will also be drawn to the things that you are doing.
Definitely.
So that's really cool. And for the people that maybe that are, because there's a lot of things going on right now, like people really are suffering, and having that awakening, what would you say, what would you want to say to these people at this moment? Not all, what can they do to,
what do you mean people are suffering?
Change at the moment, at this moment, someone who watches this and is suffering and hears this, what is a little thing that you can do already now to change yourself and change your life?
Okay. Well, you can realize that no one is coming to save you. Most people that are in suffering are petitioning to God, the universe. Please help me. I'm such a good person. Why is everything so difficult for me? Look, please intervene. Please help me. But this is not gonna help you. The only thing that's going to help you is for you to realize that you have every single thing that you need within your consciousness to heal you. Your consciousness is like a hospital. It's like the hospital that will put you right, because if you are suffering from a disease, if you are suffering from mental problems, if you are suffering from emotional problems, it's because of something in your mind. It's a belief that has created a belief about the way the world is, and this is what's creating the suffering. So if it's a belief in your mind that created the suffering, it's going to be a belief in your mind that is going to free you from that suffering. And that's what you have to realize, is that you are the hospital. Your I am presence, your imagination is your personal spiritual hospital, which you have been granted to heal yourself, to find abundance, to create the perfect relationship, to live the perfect life, and to have all the perfect relationships. You can do that, and you have every single tool that you need within your own consciousness. So The first step is realize no one is coming to save you. The second step is learn to become mindful about your thoughts and stop your addiction to negative thinking. Like, no one is going to come out of the higher dimensions and give you a break. Only you can give yourself a break from the endless negative thoughts. Find ways to heal your trauma. This is the most important thing everyone can do. We all have experienced trauma from living in an unenlightened society as very, very high level spiritual beings. So you have to find a way to heal your trauma. I have developed a modality called quantum time travel therapy, which completely has healed all my trauma. There are many, many modalities, maybe tapping, maybe visualization, whatever. Find a modality that is going to help you heal your trauma. And number 6, start becoming addicted to gratitude. Gratitude, if you can program your mind to go on rampages of gratitude, this is going to lift you out of any low states of mind. And at the very least, it's going to neutralize you so that you're not going to get lower with your negative thoughts. But if you're not in too much of negative thoughts and you start working with gratitude, then you're going to notice your vibration is going to get higher and higher very, very quickly. But you have to be consistent. You can't just go, oh, I'm just going to be grateful today and then tomorrow back to you. No, gratitude is a path of life. Every single day you have to focus on gratitude. So there we go.
Oh, wow, amazing. And gratitude is indeed the highest frequency, and you can make it a practice of it, and then you see things shift in your life. Like I
don't know if it is the highest frequency.
Okay,
it's up there. It's
very high,
super high. But to me, that's a really good question. I'd like to clarify from my perception. My perception is that knowing is a higher frequency than gratitude, because like, oh, thank you. I mean, it is high. It's really, really high. It's like it's almost at the top. But one step like I'll tell you a story which will illustrate this. So there was a village in South America, and there was a very, very, very big drought. And all the villagers got together and they said, we must all pray. We must ask God to send the rain, because all the crops are dying. Everything's dying. We need rain. Let's all meet at 2 o'clock on Sunday in the local, in the town square. And then that day, on the Sunday, all the villages, they turn up at the town square, and they all get on their knees, like saying, please, God, send the rain. Thank you for sending the rain, God. Thank you for sending the rain. And then this one little boy, he shows up and he has an umbrella, and he opens up his umbrella and the rains come. You see, that is a higher vibration than gratitude.
It's knowing.
You see, it's a subtle, but it's big. And that's the true spiritual master. But gratitude gets you to that place. It gets you to the place. It's like a slope. And gratitude is high up on the slope, but it's not quite like but it's very, very powerful, and it will get you to where you need to be on your spiritual path for sure.
Very good. Very good. Thank you so much. That was really, really awesome.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you everybody for watching, and I'll put all the links underneath so you can follow her and follow what she's doing. And yeah, it's already amazing, but who knows what else is gonna come out of because once you're a creator being, just creation keeps coming. No, it's like you keep creating. So what who knows what else amazing things you're gonna create.
Well, I'm probably going to create about 50 more books and about 10 more albums at least.
Wow.
So, yeah. Okay, well, it was lovely to meet you.
Yes. Yeah, lovely to meet you too. And bye-bye, everybody. And I'm going to stop the recording now.
Bye, everyone. Bye.